is via telephone. Mr. Swagger is unable to attend at this time.
Okay, so the server that hosts our time clock system, located in Greeley, Colorado, is still down. It is a payroll week, and we need to get it processed so that we can get it to the bank. So there's two options. One I don't think is really logistical. Either we postpone and hope that it comes up, or, I mean, as far as my disaster planning, we in thought would pay everybody 80 hours and then make adjustments in the next payroll so that everybody gets paid on time, understanding that they would get their overtime or whatever, vacation, sick leave, adjusted the next payroll. So I would like your guys' opinion on how to proceed and what your thoughts are.
My thought is that we go ahead and pay them for 80 hours because some people, they need that check. And then if they're, that they're going to get at least the 80 hours, that's, and then vacation time and then the other stuff can be prorated or whatever needs to be done. So that would be my opinion of it.
Yeah, I making them wait is not an option. I'm okay with doing the 80 hours, but the only thing I want to be sure of is that we're not, inadvertently creating any payroll violations by this happening. It was beyond our control, but as long as everything's being done right, we're not creating any violations. I'm okay with it.
Brett just came in.
What'd I miss?
Well, the server's
I
not
didn't want to
working.
go ahead.
The server's not working. She has two options: not pay or give them 80 hours and then adjust accordingly for overtime or whatever on the next paycheck. Are we breaking any labor laws by doing that? He's giving us that good look.
I can't
I
say.
just want to make sure we're not doing any payroll violation.
I can't say for certain, but
or do we self-report if we are? I mean, that's what I want to make sure we're good.
I can't say for certain. But I would have a feeling that not paying would probably more than likely be a payroll violation than providing for 80 hours and adjusting later.
Yeah, that's not an option.
So that I would say we go ahead and do the 80 hours.
Yep.
Do we need a motion accordingly?
That would be great. And salary will obviously, we know their amount, so that doesn't have an impact,
So, Rod, do I hear a motion that we pay the 80-hour time clock and then they prorate or get their overtime and everything on the next payroll?
That's what I moved.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's
That'll be
passed.
adjusted. I mean,
We're just gonna pay 80 and then pay the rest.
that's all I needed.
My guys work more than 80
I
hours.
need a
well,
motion
that's
for
what
adjournment,
they're
Mr.
saying.
Rod.
So they'll adjust for the overtime.
Overtime,
And-
28 days that they get
I'll
paid.
second
So,
that.
hold on a second. Burton's got a good question.
Yes.
What about the individuals that don't work 80-hour weeks or 2 weeks?
Well, they would be, their paycheck would be adjusted accordingly. If they got the 80 hours they might not get a paycheck next time. Or it'll be reduced
I mean, they normally work more than 80 hours for the 2-week period.
I don't have a, so what would be their normal instead of 80?
I'd have to look at the schedule, but it's, I think it's like 86 or 84, something like that. But, I mean, we make it up the next pay period, but they're gonna be shorter for 2 weeks, what they normally would get.
Well, we know that they're getting the 80 hours and then we can pay them the 4 or 6 hours over, that'll go on the next paycheck. But that way.
It's not overtime, it's just,
It would be
Regular
their,
straight pay, right,
the overtime got cut for 28 days.
right.
Right.
No,
It is this pay period that they would get their overtime though.
that's gonna hurt some of them.
So I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
I mean, we can't even look up.
Who, is there anybody that we can call that deals with this stuff? I mean, this has obviously never happened before.
It's happened before, it just hasn't been for this long and during the payroll week.
Okay.
But
all right.
we're also not alone. There's other counties that have all their applications through this company on their server
Yeah.
farm. And so other counties can't even look up payroll, like within the system. We can at least cut a check. We can at least send the wire to the bank. They can't take,
Right.
they can't take tax payments. They can't look up tax, what's due. They can't do any of it.
Right.
So it could be worse, but
That's what I was ready to
Eric
ask.
has also mentioned, that he would reach out and talk about hosting it, moving it and hosting it here. Because we host everything else here on our server, but it's not gonna fix it for right now. So we're still in the same boat.
What do we pay for that payroll, for that portion of it that they're housing, that they're in control of?
Time clock plus,
20, what did I tell you, 27?
2750.
No, that's what we,
Oh.
that's what we initially paid. So initially we paid $2,700 roughly for
Is that a year?
buying it. And then there's according to the initial contract, I don't know if it's went up, it is $1,740 maintenance per year.
And then that 2,700 is per year.
No, that was a
A
one-time
one-time sign.
So it's just $1,700 a year.
currently. Unless it's went up, but the document I have is from 16. And like she said, I do have a request to the actual time clock company to get a price for us having it as opposed to somebody else having it and us using it.
Okay. Well, I guess, the motion's been made, seconded. As long as everything's legal and we're not gonna get in trouble down North Line, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Well, you've got to make some sort of payroll,
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I understand
Yes.
Burton's concern, as well as, I'm sure there's going to be other issues, whether it's fire and EMS people or whoever, but
Right.
you've got to get a payroll source out there of some form. And the 80 hours is reasonable to go off of.
Once it comes up and running, if you could go ahead and do the overtime, then they don't have to wait 2 weeks to receive their overtime, because some of them are kind of counting on that.
Can that be done?
It can be, but then we're gonna, I don't know how much of a tracking nightmare it's going to be of the people that are short. Going the opposite way of, we've made adjustments to this many people, but not to everybody. See what I mean? Instead of just making adjustments to everybody all at once in 2 weeks and knowing that everybody's covered. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
How much overtime is usually worked within that period, Burton?
Some of them are pretty large, because of the fact that I'm short staffed, so they're working open shifts and stuff. There's some that might be as much as 20 hours. But depending on how many transports they did and all that stuff, 'cause transport's usually another 8 hours on top of that. Well,
Right.
Legally, you got to pay something.
Well, that's, we're making the good faith effort of paying the 80 hours. That should, hopefully hold them for 2 weeks. If they know that they're not getting their overtime, they can hopefully adjust their spending to a 2-week period.
And this month is a 3 payroll month. There's 2 per year and it is this month, so. it'll
We
be
have
made
several
this
things
month.
going on there.
And what's their issue? Why are we having an issue with it?
We've just been told that their server's down. And that was Monday. It's been down since Friday.
Dear to our valued customers, we recently learned that it was experiencing a disruption to certain computer systems and applications. We continue to conduct business, but some of our processes or operations may be delayed or workarounds needed. Please know we are working diligently with third-party specialists to investigate the source of this disruption, confirm its impact on our systems, and to restore full functionality as soon as possible. We appreciate your patience and anticipate having a more refined timeline related to our business operations very soon. We will communicate next steps as soon as we know more. That was yesterday at
Today. Oh yeah, it is Wednesday.
Wednesday's yesterday at 7:09 a.m.
Okay. But it's been down since Friday or Saturday.
Saturday.
That first sentence says, I just realized. It's been down since Friday. They're a little slow on realizing.
Okay, we'll just go with the 80 hours and motion on the floor to adjourn. Anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion moved, passed, we adjourn. Thank you.
You gotta send something out, we can.